Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining live or joining this recording. Today, I brought my good friend Rose on. Her history is she was a critical care nurse, a holistic mama of 8 children. She has an amazing testimony that she's going to share. And I'm super excited about these patches. And Rose has had so much experience throughout the whole world using these patches in her ministry. She is a leader. She is such an inspiration. Like she is so amazing. And I can't wait for you to meet her one on one. But she works in a ministry that works with survivors of abuse and human sex trafficking. And just from my perspective, knowing I'm a part of her team and being able to say that I'm working behind the scenes and helping her ministry has been huge for me. So, Rose, thank you so much for joining, and I'm going to turn it over to you and let you share your heart.
Oh, thank you, Tiff. I am so grateful to be able to do this with you. And yes, the patches have made such an impact in my life. I know they have in your life, but what you said is was beautiful because we actually are using these patches with our survivors all around the world. And I would love to dive into that a little bit, but before we get started, I did want to share just for someone who is brand new to hearing what these patches are, they're actually zero ingredient holistic patches. They come with a white backing on it. And as I take the backing off of it, you can see that there are 3D ridges that are actually printed on latex-free adhesive. Once you actually take the patch and you place it on your skin and it comes in contact with the skin, it's actually literally sending healthy signals to the brain to bring the body back into balance directly through the sensors on your skin. So with that being said, it's actually like an instantaneous thing. So, for example, let's just say this is a hot cup of coffee, okay? And I were to go to grab it without paying attention, what would happen is I would immediately let go of it. Not because my hand is smart by any means, but simply because there are sensors all over my skin. And the sensors on my hand, once they come into contact with something that is extremely hot or extremely cold, my hand is going to actually, the sensors on my skin are going to send signals to my brain. My brain is going to immediately respond back and it's going to tell my hand exactly what to do. And what happens is my hand is going to let go. Okay. And it's just something that happens without us even thinking about it. So, with that being said, I love to see people's reaction when they actually do the strength and balance test. And I think you have done several of these with so many different people. And I don't know about you, Tiffany, but every time I do a strength and balance test on someone, they put the patch on, and it's like immediately I tell them, make a circle. Okay, make an O with your ring finger and your thumb so it's touching tip to tip. And then before I put the patch on, I test their strength of them keeping their fingers together. Then I put the patch on, the Liberty or the Victory patch, and I'm able to do it again. And immediately they're like, what was that? What just happened? Because your strength will instantly increase. It doesn't even take 5 seconds. It's right on contact because, again, like those sensors on your skin I was talking about, they're actually sending healthy signals to your brain to bring the body back into balance. And for this patch very specifically, it's actually telling your body, communicating to your brain and telling your body, I am stronger, I'm in more balance. So I would love to know what some of the reactions were when you first did the strength and balance test, when Darby did. Just share with us what you guys experienced.
So it was really cool because Darby was the first person I did it on, and then she actually did it on me after. And she kept saying, Mama, I'm not that weak. Like every time, because I would be trying and trying to get her to tip over. And at first, yeah, she fell over. And then whenever I put it on, and then I was trying and trying, and she was like, what's happening in my body? And I'm like, your body's getting stronger. You have balance. And then when she was doing it on me, she was like, oh my gosh, you were so weak. Because I was like all over the place before I put that patch on. And as soon as I slapped it on my wrist, and she was trying harder, and she was like, Mama, I can't move you. So that was amazing, right? Just with me and my daughter. But
Mhm.
then I've met people in parking lots. I've had some patch and goes where we just like do that test on everybody that shows up. And the reaction is always the same. It's like, I can tell people kind of are skeptical. I mean, I was skeptical. I'm an engineer. I was highly skeptical, but the science of it intrigued me, right? The 3D print and how that's going to interact with the brain. And then whenever I do this, everybody's like, what just happened? Like the shock on everybody's face. I wish I had a video of every person's face when I
Mhm.
did the test.
Yeah, so the test that you're referring to, so there's this one here, which is your finger strength, okay, your like grip strength. There's also one, if I were to back up a little bit, if you were to stand with your arms to your side and we come and try to lift you up with you locking your arms so that we could test your lateral balance. There's another one where we could test just like if you topple over in this direction. There's also a range of motion test. And what's so cool about it is that it works 100% of the time on 100% of the people that have skin because of the fact that our body is completely from scalp all the way to the bottom of our feet is covered in skin. It's the largest organ in our body and it's full of sensors. So you mentioned that I am a critical care nurse by trade. I worked years in the ER, worked years in the operating room and recovery and things of like that with ICU patients as well. And I'll tell you that I have seen over and over and over again so many patients come into the hospital just with a lot of the same things. It's usually gut health issues is a big one, heart attack issues or heart issues and organ failure. Okay. And what I see behind the scenes or what I have seen behind the scenes so often is this just entangled web of medication after medication to put a band-aid on every single symptom that they have versus getting to the root of what is really going on. So, and another one, and I've shared this with you so many times, is anxiety. So many people come into the hospital thinking that they're having a heart attack, right? And it actually is anxiety because it manifests very similar to a heart attack and it feels real, right? And it could actually lead to a heart attack. Overwhelm, exhaustion, stress, all of that, lack of sleep, right? Overstimulation all the time, a lot of people running on fight or flight all the time can really burn your organs out. So when we have these patches that are zero ingredients, okay, nothing gets infused through the bloodstream. Nothing is touching your kidneys, your liver, your heart. Nothing is affecting your organs because there are zero ingredients. That to me is the coolest thing ever. And we work with a lot of holistic practitioners, and you have, I mean, you as well, and so many people in your world that you connect with are very holistic minded, right? As a mama of eight, with the education and background that I have working in the hospital, I literally have converted so many things to be holistic as much as possible. That is our first line of defense. And I'll tell you that it has changed the game for our family. Now, there are 13 different patches. They're safe for children, safe for adults. They're safe during pregnancy, safe for nursing mamas. There's no contraindications. It doesn't matter what ailments you have going on. It doesn't matter what medications you're on. There are no contraindications whatsoever. That gives me such a peace of mind. It gives so many people that we know a peace of mind, especially in, the realm of holistic options, right? So tell me what because you have such an amazing background on the holistic level. So just share with me some of the things too.
Yeah, so one of the things for me, I don't like taking medicine just because of that cyclic effect. Like I experienced that. Like my neck hurt. I got some painkillers, muscle relaxers. It upset my stomach. I got something for nausea. Then all of a sudden I had to take something for like indigestion and heartburn.
Hmm.
And then it was like, I don't know, it was like always something. Like I remember at one time I was on 8 different medications. And now I'm like down to two, and I'm looking to even come off of those soon. But again, I'm going to go based on my doctor's medical advice, right?
Hmm.
Like I shared with her what I was starting last fall, and she was like, come back in 6 months because I wanted to come off the meds. But again, I want to do it in that safe way, right? Like
Hmm.
if you've been on something for years and years, and I always tell people that too, you know, these patches don't treat, they don't cure, right? We're not
Right.
diagnosing anything, we're just looking at the symptoms. And that's what I always share with people. Like, I'm taking my own health into my own hands, is the way I'm looking at it these
Mhm.
days. And for me, I had the anxiety and stress. Like several years ago, I guess it was back in 2020, I fell out at work one day, took a trip to the ER in the back of an ambulance. That's never happened in my life. And the doctors wound up saying it was stress. And I'm like,
Mm.
no, I've had panic attacks, for years and years. It's not stress. And they were like, no, it's stress. Well, ever since I was introduced to the patches, my stress levels have went down. My cortisol levels have went down. My migraines, I started on Freedom and I'm in month 5 of zero migraines. I was
So
having
good.
2 to 3 a month.
Mm.
And it put me out. Like it literally put me out of work because they were so bad. I would have to get in the bed, surround myself with darkness. Half the time I would cover my head up, ice packs on my head, and it was unbearable pain. And that was even with medications.
Mm.
And even looking at my history, I killed my stomach. That's what I call it many years ago because I've had migraines since I was like 12 or 13 years old. And I was taking so much ibuprofen on a daily basis, it killed my stomach. I had such, they called it what? I guess chronic gastritis
Yeah.
and the inflammation there. So I also started with Liberty and I noticed the inflammation in my body going down. And I have a skin issue. I have an autoimmune disease since I was 12. And I had a big flare up back over July. I had COVID, and like all the things were under control until that happened. And after that, the migraines ramped up, my hormone issues ramped up, my HS ramped up. I was like riddled with sores all under my skin. So, like from the outside looking in, everybody's probably like, oh, she's perfect, no acne and all this. But under my skin, I'm in pain constantly.
Mm. Mm.
But once I started wearing Lumi, which is for skin, within 2 weeks, all of that was gone. No pain, no sores under my skin. And I'll be honest, like I just started wearing Lumi again 2 days ago. And it's not even for the sores. I had saw a picture of somebody with cracked heels, like on their feet. And I noticed that the other day sitting on the couch and I slapped the patch on. I'm like, I'm going to wear Lumi and see what it does. And I took pictures this time. So I'll have a picture testimony of that. But it simply changed my life. Like something that is literally, I tell people, patch and go because you don't have to remember to take a medication. You slap it on and wear it 24 hours. My go-to is I take a shower at night. That's when I switch them out. Like it's just a routine, something I do every day. And that's why I started sharing. Like when I saw the benefits and I would hear people, my head hurts. I've got hot flashes. No hot flashes in 5 months either. Like it's simply amazing, and that's why I'm like sharing with everybody. And if I invited you to this Zoom, or if I've reached out to you sharing this recording, it's really because I see in you, because this is more of like a business talk. Um, I want you on my team, and I want you on there sooner rather than later because Super Patch is growing so rapidly. And Rose, I would love if you would just share, about being on the launch team because it's like a once in a lifetime thing. Like I've tried to get in on companies when they're first launching, and this is the earliest I've ever jumped in, and I see the greatest potential here.
Yeah, absolutely. Before, really quick, when you shared your testimonial with me, not only were you in tears, but I was in tears because it made me realize this is why I'm so passionate about sharing these patches. So I do want to give you guys a backstory and then tie this into the business opportunity. I am a very busy individual. I know, Tiffany, you are very busy as well. I lead a worldwide ministry, like you mentioned, working with survivors of abuse and human sex trafficking. I have a lot of hats that I wear, 8 children, all the things. I was not looking for another business. Actually, to be quite honest, I was actually pretty burnt out on network marketing in general. And I kind of told myself I would never do that again.
Me
Okay.
too. Me too.
But my holistic practitioner, Ricky James, she actually helped me during my last pregnancy of baby number 8. And postpartum, I had asked her, what can I do to help balance my hormones and really just get rid of the inflammation and lose some of the weight that I've been holding on to from each pregnancy? My body holds on to weight like for dear life. I am not someone who can easily lose weight. My metabolism is so slow, it goes backwards. Like literally, I try to lose weight and I gain it. It's just how it is, and it's how it's been my whole life. Now, once she told me to use Ignite and Liberty, I said, okay, great. What's in them? What are they? What's in them? She said zero ingredients. She explained to me the concept of your sensors on your skin. And I immediately got it because it made sense to me based on the things that I've experienced in the past. I also trusted her because she is my holistic practitioner, right? So it wasn't like she was trying to sell anything to me. Once I started to have good results, like literally within a few days, my inflammation started to decrease and I started to notice it drastically. And then I just started to share on social media, like, this is amazing. I'm actually trying these new things that my practitioner shared with me. There's zero ingredients, holistic patch. And I had, at that point, I had purchased in, like for the wholesale kind of thing, thinking that was really what I could do. And I had my own link. I posted that link. I woke up, Tiffany, and I had like 3 or 4 people that bought, 2 people that signed up because they seen a business opportunity before I even knew it was happening. So I thought, oh my gosh, okay. So I reached out to Ricky and I said, Ricky, this is what just happened. And she said, yeah, I think you need to hear me on this. I know what you're building in ministry. We're looking to build an impact center that's like $1 million project. And she said, you need to pay attention. This company is a Canadian company. They're huge in Europe, and they have been around in with these patches for the last almost 2 years. What was like a year then? So they've been around, but they also have a lot of sustainability. The CEO is a quite phenomenal individual who has a really good heart to see good in others, and he's very against the whole medical entanglement. Okay. And so when she shared this with me, she said, this is going to take off. You need to listen to me, and I would love for you to link arms with me because I see how this can bless your ministry. And what she was talking about is me taking, right, all the profit that I make from a business standpoint and pouring it into the ministry. So I'm creating a very substantial for profit to help fund our nonprofit, which is what Tiffany said, like linking arms behind the scenes through patches. Like I would never have guessed that God would give us patches to do this. But then the next thing happened. I started to lose weight. My hot flashes were gone. And then I started to actually share a little bit more about my journey. Some of my survivors of abuse and human sex trafficking that truly struggle with PTSD from major trauma that they have been through, that struggle with a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, they got a hold of this patch right here. And this one is called the Peace Patch. And they also combined it with Joy, which is another patch. I don't have any in my bag here, but they combined it with Joy and Liberty. One of my survivors shared with me, she reached out and she said, I need to know how to share these patches with the world. This is someone who has PTSD and anxiety and depression and all the things so bad that she actually wouldn't even go to the grocery store because it would take her like 2 weeks to decompress from that social anxiety. She had distanced herself from her entire family. She has grandbabies that hadn't seen her for over a year. I mean, just the things that this woman had been going through. And as I'm working with her, I started to see a change immediately in her, and she started sharing them with others. And then I did an interview with her, and survivors all over the place heard it, seen it. They're using the patches and they're having really, really good results. It really just takes that over, like that combo that I just said, joy, peace, and liberty takes that entire like overwhelm, overstimulation, anxious feelings, and maybe even feeling like shutting down. It takes it down so that you're able to cope and move through. And it's really rewiring your brain so that you're not having this repetitive behavior of anxiousness nonstop, a repetitive behavior of negative thoughts that are going through your mind. So our mind and body is so very well connected. So with all that being said, I started to see the big picture and I started to see it very quickly. Okay. I kind of like shared it here or there for 30 days. And then I couldn't even believe what happened. I went all in, started talking about these patches. 9 months later, okay, we have over 1,000 people that have linked arms with us in this business because they see the picture. It's exploding and it's exploding at rapid speed. Okay. So when Tiffany is saying to you that she invited you here because she actually sees this as an amazing, phenomenal opportunity for you, look, all of us can think of 3 to 5 people that struggle with pain, anxiety, depression, that have lack of sleep. They do not get quality sleep, that need more energy, that could reduce inflammation in their body, that want to help balance their hormones, reduce cortisol levels, that actually want to lose some weight, right? The list goes on and on. I'm telling you right now, don't let this pass you by because I will guarantee you that your friends and your family are going to get their hands on these patches. It's up to you if they're going to get them through your link so you get paid on it or not. Okay. This I did not understand at the beginning. I did not until I started to see the big picture. And now I do not shut up about them because I'll tell you, I have a lot of homeschool mamas that really don't want to get their kids on ADD, ADHD medication and their children are able to use a zero ingredient patch and it's helping enhance the quality of the life of the child or adults, right? How about the person that has chronic back pain or knee pain or migraines, like Tiff was saying? That could be debilitating. You're not going to turn your head because now you know there is a holistic option with zero ingredients. You're not going to turn your head. Okay. You have a potential solution right here. Zero ingredients, zero contraindications. It does not affect any organs whatsoever. You guys, this right here is the future of wellness. I talk to chiropractors, personal trainers, holistic practitioners. You guys, listen, this is huge. We have so many on our team, and so many people are saying to me, I've been waiting for this type of thing to come out because it literally is what everything is going to shift to. So, my encouragement is to truly lean into this, ask whatever questions need to be asked, and let's share these patches with the world.
Yes, and I want to share, just to end this because here's what I love. Like Rose, I said I would never do MLM again, ever. And then when I joined this and I met Rose and and her leadership's leadership, I felt at home where I hadn't felt in a really long time. And back in September, and even before we came on this video, God told me to share this. So I'm just going to share it. So back in September, I went to an event that Rose hosted, and she asked us to ask God for something really big that when it happened, that we knew it would be him and not us. And I sat there and I prayed, and all of a sudden I heard that I would be a leader of many. Now, keep in mind, I had just joined Super Patch the week before, so I had no team. I was not a leader at all. And over the last few weeks, like Rose, yeah, I've been in it a few months and I've been sharing here and there. And I'm talking about it some on social media. I'm talking about it some in talking with people. And this week, it really hit me that I have to go all in because God's showing me it's more about a kingdom impact than me being in a business trying to sell a product.
Mhm.
And when I hear testimonies and people call and they're saying, oh my gosh, my feet ain't hurting me anymore because they stand on their feet all day. When they tell me, oh my gosh, I'm not having hot flashes. I don't know what's going on, but I've started losing weight. Like, that's giving people their quality of life back. I'm sleeping better, quality of life. So I hope that as you watch this, you really hear God speak to you in a way that lets you know if this is for you. Because what I'm looking for, and I know Rose is too, is those heart centered people, people that genuinely care about helping others. And another piece of that, and this is just something extra that I'm offering my team. So for 3 years now, I've been getting certifications helping people with their mental and emotional blocks in life. I have taken a year's worth of training on relationships, on communication styles. And at first, I was running that business. That was my business. For 10 years, I've been leading up to what I've done the past 2 years. And as God gave me this vision and I prayed about it, He told me that everything I've done for the past 2 to 3 years was leading to this moment in time with this company, and that I'm to offer everything I've done for 2 to 3 years now to my team. So that's helping you with your emotional and mental blocks. That's going to help not only your business, but your family, to coach you and to train you in communication, in business, and in sales, in emotional intelligence, in all the things. Like, I'm a master communicator. Like, it's insane, but I've went through 5 levels of training to get here. And if you were to take that, that would be a over a $20,000 investment if you took my classes. And God told me to give it to my team. So that's how I know if you join, you're going to get so much value, not only in just that, but feeling better, sleeping better, less aches and pains, losing weight. There is just so much beautiful things going on here. And Rose, I just want to thank you. Like, when I asked to do this video, I was just so over the moon. God's like, go, go, go. It's time. I've been holding back for 4 months, sharing here and there. And everybody, like, I'm sending this recording out to a handful of people to start with, because the way I'm running this business is also unlike anything I've ever done before. And I'm looking to build leaders in the team
Mhm.
and to help you succeed more so than make a sale. You succeed in life. And it's kind of like that first come, first serve, right, Rose? Like,
Yeah,
the ones
that's
that get in.
huge. That's huge. What you're offering is huge because a lot of people will say, well, I'm not really good at sales and I don't, and none of that matters. That's not really what we're looking for. What you said is you hit it right on the head, is that we are looking for kind, loving humans, right? That really genuinely want to help the next person. And that I know I'm called to make a generational impact. You know the same. And what if we can help so many people on a holistic level? Think about this mentally, okay? Physically, emotionally, there's so much that we can do here with a zero ingredient patch. So, what you're offering is absolutely amazing. One of the things I didn't share, you guys, is that I'm actually now down 42 pounds. I don't even think I shared the end result so far of where I'm at. But other than that, I feel the best I've ever felt in my entire life at 42 years old. And I still have, room for losing more weight and all the things, but I'm in a season where I want to be gentle and kind to my body. And that's what I'm helping so many other people do, and what you're helping so many people do. So, again, you guys, if you're seeing this, just think about the people in your life that could be blessed with these patches. That's the point, right? Yes, you will make a great income here. If you share it a lot, you will. You will. Okay. We are able to pour a lot financially into our ministry. It is if you are a business individual, okay, and you make smart business decisions, I need you to really lean in here because this is probably one of the smartest business decisions I have made in a very long time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on, Tiffany. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.